have that awareness as Shinymark attempts to adapt throughout all of this. So Shinymark's game plan, I'm curious to see as we go into this game 1.
Before we get into anything deeper, I want to say Sen's hair looks really good.
Absolutely.
What a good looking guy. Anyways, so what I want to point out about Shinymark's play so far this tournament is that his advantage state has looked impeccable. I don't know if any of you watched the Vendetta set, but it was horrifying to watch if you are a fan of fighting game characters. And granted, I will say the FGCs do not have the greatest of disadvantage states. It can be difficult for you to get out. Not a lot of their moves are super fast, and Pikachu can kind of just run over them sometimes. But when you watch Shinymark do some of these reads on tech rolls and your drift even, he's so good at finding the multi-hits and finding the follow-ups off of his low percent combos, off of his grabs, off of his up tilts, and it's really, really scary to get hit by anything by this Pikachu. Every small hit by this tiny-ass rat just hurts more and more. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it hurts your mental. You know what I mean? Because everything just adds up, and it keeps going, and he keeps going, and he keeps reading your rolls, and he keeps reading your disadvantage options. And then as soon as I say that, he up B's into a Ness Nair, and that's going to be the first stock going to Send.
Yeah, Send calling him out. Again, having the options is already a good start, but Send is kind of just reading Shinymark like a book so far. By the way, there was a very interesting in stock one, a very interesting edge guard scenario that we can't get into too much because the game's going to keep going on, but I do expect a lot of this set, if it goes Shinymark's way, to be played at the edge, because that's where Ness is going to struggle without jump.
And Shinymark is not scared to go off stage. He never will be. With Pikachu's amazing recovery, the quick attack goes so far, you are able to recover from some ridiculous distances. Ness, not a bad recovery either, not nearly as good as Pikachu's, but Shinymark is going to have a lot of success from pressuring Ness's unsafe, very slow, and sometimes difficult to execute recovery.
Air dodge up. That was a fantastic option from Send, but Shinymark getting back to stage
there
quickly,
you go.
responding to it, and the down air is going to take it.
That was really nicely done. I think Shinymark was waiting for an air dodge, and as soon as he saw that Ness was a little bit too far away from the ledge in order to air dodge, he was like, I'm pulling the trigger, I'm down airing.
It's a great choice.
That was great. It was just nice. I think Send and Ness specifically have a much better disadvantage state than a lot of characters that Shinymark has had to play this tournament so far. He has a lot of really good get-off-me tools, including the Nair and the Fair, and just in general, missed tech from Shinymark, but Pikachu's not going to have any trouble getting that back. Oh, the neutral get up and goes through Ness. Send is living this, but he...
yeah, untackable. That was a great choice to angle it that direction, because you'll either get the bonk for the PK Thunder reset, or, in this scenario, you'll hit Shinymark whenever he's going for an edge guard.
A bit mistimed on the aerial for Shinymark. I think if he had fast fell a little bit further and hit Send, he would have just died and Shinymark could have made it back. But Ness gets the PK Thunder out in time, and that means that we are back to an even game. Last stock, about 50 to 60% apiece, and this is anyone's game at this point. And Send, not afraid to pull out the magnet when he sees the Thunder Jolt. I'm really expecting to see a lot of predictions from the projectiles that are going to come out of Pikachu, because all of them can be absorbed. Thunder and the Thunder Jolt, both of them can be absorbed by Ness, and they heal. The Thunder especially heals for a lot of damage.
Definitely. Shinymark wants to get Send back off stage without jump, but the air dodge from Ness is just so long that you really have to go for a hard prediction.
Shinymark choosing to go under the stage all the way and then quick attack back onto the platform. I think that was a really smart recovery move. Ness can pressure you off stage, and at this percent, Nair will kill. I think Fair, if you're pretty close to the edge, will kill. And back air, up air, all of them are threatening moves that can keep you from getting back to the stage.
Skull Bash is a great option, because either it's going to clash with the PK Thunder, and you're probably going to be fine, or it's going to outrun it. And then you'll be able to go to either side of the stage that you choose. Last stock, last hit situation.
That little bit of a disjoint on Ness's Nair, beating out Shinymark's Nair, but a nice little up smash into a Fair, and now Send has a lot of pressure on him to get back to the stage, and the really nice quick attack to interrupt Send's disadvantage in his recovery, and the Fair not quite going to be enough. Pikachu struggling to kill just a little bit, but... Oh, I don't know where that went. I don't know who this
kill screen that was for.
I was going to say.
Send at edge.
This is scary, and you kind of have to wonder if... Who died? Shinymark gets the KO and pops off a little bit. You can tell he was very tense towards the end of that game, and he just barely got the ending, a smile on his face as well. He's happy about that one, and Send, to his credit, ice cold. I don't think I've ever seen him change expressions while playing the game.
That was great. ledge trap situation from Shinymark, keeping the pressure and the momentum high so that Send has to make decisions quickly. The Thunder Jolts keep coming out, and if you go through the option of, let's say, drop from ledge, jump PSI magnet, unless by some miracle of God, which is not going to happen because Shinymark is spacing it out really nicely, you get the hit on Shinymark with PSI magnet, even if you absorb the Thunder Jolt, you still have frames of end lag, and Shinymark's going to hit you out of it, which is about what we saw. Even though Sen didn't go for the PSI magnet, that timing was still about the same. Shinymark threw out the aerial, confirming that that was his plan the whole time, and in that trade situation, insane game 1, it went to Shinymark. What's the adaptation for game 2 for Sen?
Did we go small battlefield game 1? I think we did.
Yes.
It wasn't PS2.
Correct.
That's crazy. I've never seen... That's the first time I haven't seen PS2 in a game 1 in so long. But small battlefield is the re-pick for Send, and you're going to get that tech for sure. But I am a little concerned about how much Shinymark has wanted to contest that PK Thunder because he's gotten hit by it a couple times as well. I don't know if he's just mistiming it. Oh, you're dead.
Oh,
you're not
what
dead!
An angle! The drift was incredible from Sen.
Oh my god,
understanding
Ness.
just how long Ness's arms are to reach out to that ledge.
Ness's airspeed is surprisingly good, and he is able to get that little drift back and forth, and that was pixel perfect from Sen to make it back to the stage, and that saved his life for sure. And this back throw is going to be enough to kill at 95.
That is one of the strongest back throws in the game.
For sure.
Definitely a kill.
I think number 2, maybe number 3.
Yeah.
Sonora's number 1, I think Doc is number 2.
That makes sense. As we expected, a lot of this game is being played at the edge in ledge traps and edge guards the entire time. If there's any neutral situation, both of these guys are trying to get the other one off stage.
Both of these players are so good at the ledge as well. We saw Shinymark playing against Vendetta and just was ledge trapping him for days, and Send is a player of similar caliber who can do similar things. Their characters are not exactly similar, but they kind of can excel at similar parts of the game. And I think Ness, with how many options he has,
wow,
the angle that he went
incredible
for!
Scenario. That was awesome. So
that was so
Sen
smart.
The entire time has been sending his PK Thunders counterclockwise, and in this one situation said, I know Shinymark's been going in towards the stage to edgeguard me. I'm going to use PK Thunder in a clockwise scenario, so it just clips Shinymark, and then I'll make it back to stage. And Shinymark dying was honestly just icing.
That was so smart from Sen. Shinymark finally able to get one back with the down air sour spot to send Sen to his second stock, but this is still such an uphill battle. Send on a fresh second stock, while Shinymark on his last already. But this stock has already looked quite good until that.
That
was
of percentage back. I don't think I've seen PSI Magnet on Thunder in a long time. That was about 20% return.
The forward smash almost connected for Shinymark there, but
unfortunate.
I think Shinymark after that second stock was like, all right, this game's over. It's fine. Let's reset. Let's mental reset, and let's go to game 3. I think we're probably going to want to see a change of pace, a change of stage, maybe one that's a little bit more difficult to recover on for Send. And I think Kalos wouldn't be bad. I think Kalos is really good for Pikachu. I imagine it's probably banned, actually, because Ness probably doesn't like it very much. And gives you a couple less options to recover because the walls there can get in the way of PK Thunder pretty easily. And Pikachu having a wall jump and having the Thunder Jolt that can climb up the wall makes it really hard to ledge trap as well. So Kalos banned, and we're just going right back to small battlefield. I imagine we might see 5 games of it here.
Yeah, definitely banning any sort of vertical edge or vertical edge situations because it severely gimps Ness's recovery options against the stage.
I like the way that Shinymark is pressuring underneath his platforms, kind of forcing Sen to just sit and shield, but it's not like it's leading anywhere. We need to see like a large combo that starts with something like a down throw into a nair, but Sen has the SDI, the DI perfectly. He knows his matchup surprising. I think he knows it very well and is ready for whatever Shinymark wants to start out.
Yeah, I think the meme as it goes is, are you a Thunder Jolt Pikachu or are you a back air Pikachu? And obviously you can't be a full Thunder Jolt Pikachu in this matchup. And so we're seeing a lot of aggressive play
Ooh, nice
on
back
Shinymark.
air.
That's what you have to have.
You're dead. You have to be dead. Yeah. I do not think Drift was saving Send anytime
soon. No, Shinymark
there.
was further to the edge of the stage in that situation, and so there's no way you could drift away. You would have had to have drifted in early to have responded to that one.
Skull Bash to the other side of the stage for Shinymark, and now PK Fire connecting into a back air and attempting to threaten the recovery, but Shinymark so slippery, just gets right onto Sen, and he can't do anything about it. He's still in the end lag from the Thunder, and Shinymark gets to tack on a little bit of damage because of it. Down air is going to whiff a little bit, and the up air will connect for Sen, but we're still looking for a KO for this Ness.
Yeah, Yeah, none of this game is being played at center stage, and honestly, that's my favorite type of gameplay to watch.
Both of these players are playing very aggressively, and they want to keep their opponent off the stage for as much as possible. I think holding center stage is kind of worthless a lot of times for this matchup. Oh, I love the attempt from Shinymark, but it doesn't land, and Pikachu's making it back from there as long as you don't mess up the recovery, but that was a little bit of a scary situation. Could have had a similar situation in Game 1 where Shinymark just loses his stock, unfortunately. But no foul, no harm. We're going to keep going 2 stocks apiece as Shinymark slowly building a percentage lead.
Chipping down on Send and not playing around the PK Thunder responses, not even giving Send an option to choose that because it's not been working out for you. And this, not even going for it. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a little bit too risky. You don't want to lose that advantage that you have when you could just play on stage and get those stray hits
Honestly,
into a better position.
In that situation, I almost wish Shinymark had gone for it. He's only at 14%, so you know even if you get hit into the stage, it's not untechable, and it slows down the up piece so much. I'd almost like to see him just contest it, you know?
I think right now he's just preferring to play for the stage positioning,
and
play bit by bit, chip by chip, and just play ultimately like a Sheik scenario where it's death by 1,000 cuts.
I think instead of going for directly trying to deal with the recovery option, he's trying to punish a ledge option instead, which I think is a good way of playing the game, especially Ness has some pretty good options from the ledge, but I think Shinymark has a really fast reaction time, is going to be able to deal with that as any player probably would, and that was so well done, well spaced from Shinymark. It's right around the PK Thunder, knows exactly how he's going to fall, and he's just going to absolutely destroy Sen stock. I almost called him Best Ness.
Shinymark decided, I'm going to play for ledge trap scenarios. Like you said, call out those ledge options. And so Sen's response here has to be very simple. Don't go for wild ledge options. Go back for playing for stage positioning like you weren't doing the entire game because you didn't think you had to. Get that stage positioning and no longer go for these risky ledge options, although he's still throwing them out.
I'm so impressed with how quickly Shinymark is able to mental reset. That game 2 was rough. It was bad. I think he did not play up to his standards, and he realized it very quickly, and he shook it off so quickly and is playing impeccably this game. His advantage state has been so much better, his neutral has been so much better, and he has been so good into this Ness, and finally, Sen finding tooth and nail to take that second stock away from Shinymark, and he already has 74% tacked on.
This is a much more neutral-focused game than we saw in games 1 and 2. Both players deciding that if we're playing at the edge, it's going to be a little bit too volatile and we can't play predictably. Shinymark really leading the charge on that decision, but Send responding beautifully. And this last stock situation, I'm not counting Send out nearly yet because these combos are honestly surprising.
Oh, I think he tried to feign going into hitting himself and then went back underneath. Really nice little. He's so smooth with moving the PK Thunder around. You can tell, like, he's been playing Ness for so many years. He gets it, you know. Up throw to try to get an up air follow up, but does not hit onto Shinymark, and now about a 20 to 30% lead for Shinymark as he's looking for an edge guard, looking for anything, but Pikachu will struggle to kill in the situations if you don't get an edge guard.
Yeah, your air acceleration and air speed on Ness is just so good. You can throw out aerials a lot more safely than Pikachu can, which I can't believe that I just said that, but that's just how it works.
Oh, I like the idea from Best Ness, but I said Best Ness again. I love the idea from Sen, but he is not going to land until the dash attack. Really?
What a call out. He read the option. It would have covered air dodge to stage as well, but it did wind up calling out the quick attack mix. I don't know how much of that was, just skill decision or how much of it was this is just the safest option that covers the most of Shinymark's options. Either way, good choice and a little bit too much pressure for Shinymark.
I was complimenting Shinymark's advantage state in that third game, and I think he did mentally reset very well because that was a lot closer of a game and it was last stock. But Sen, absolutely ice cold under pressure, and in the clutch, he just does not miss in those situations. He knows exactly how you're gonna. He starts to read how you're gonna move when you're in those chaotic, high pressure situations. Those last stocks, those nerves start to kick in, and then he reads your habits, and he's gonna hit you for it. And that's why that call out hit. That's why they call him the Best Ness.
Not really a lot of punish options that you can do there when you send PK Thunders to stage.
It's really difficult to punish this Ness. I think so many safe options. The aerials don't have a lot of end lag on them unless you're like using down air or back air. But even then, it's hard for punish, even for a character as fast as Pikachu with as many safe options. And that's going to be a stock with the tipper forward smash.
78%. And before that, honestly, like high 50s, low 60s% in the F smash. I mean, we know how strong the baseball bat is.
and he hits the tipper of it as well. There's a bit of a tipper on the end of the baseball bat, and he spaces it perfectly, jab blocks perfectly, and that's just well played character mastery from Sen.
Now Sen slowing the pace of the game down a little bit, just kind of throwing out aerials, holding
that
neutral,
was
but
beautiful.
Shinymark, great choice.
That was a great punish. He knew the whiff from Sen. You saw Sen was playing very patiently, but threw out a couple of let me see if you get hit by this options, and Shinymark said, no, I'm going to space this right, I'm going to get around you, and I'm going to use Pikachu's speed to take advantage of that. And hits is confirmed. That's all that matters, you know?
Yeah, Sen is definitely not playing aggressively here. All of the aerials are like defensive options, trying to just keep the space and play almost like a sortie against Pikachu. And Shinymark has to really get in, find an opening, and hold the advantage state if he wants a chance at closing the stock gap.
Shinymark is getting a lot of these tiny little confirms that get a little bit, like a solid amount of percent, but not a lot. But we need to see some of those bigger combos, like the up tilts into nairs. I doubt Sen gets hit by them for very long, as SDI is probably very good. But I love that aggressive option to just keep Pikachu away from you. You know Shinymark wants to get that edge guard so badly, so he says, no, get out of my face. I'm getting back to the stage.
And that was the first like serious edge guard we saw in a while. And Sen threw out that, it honestly was a panic option, because if you didn't do that, Shinymark was already out there. And if you buffered PK Thunder in the wrong direction, you're dead.
Sen was so much faster to react to Shinymark going under the stage this time, and wow, the back air call out on the attempt at a follow up from Shinymark, and that was just a great stock from Sen. But I will say that became a lot closer after Sen took even after Sen took the first stock, because 108%, Pikachu is very close to being able to kill here. Up smash, not quite charged enough, and the small battlefield ceiling is relatively high, and the dash attack will confirm. So only 17%. This is now an even game on last stock, but Shinymark, if he loses this game, will be sent to the loser's bracket. Winner's quarters here. Sen looking to move on to top 8.
Yeah, this no longer even looks like the traditional Pikachu versus Ness matchup. This has already evolved. Both players have adapted so much through to this Game 4 that, honestly, it looks like we're watching a much more, I guess you could call it normal matchup. But what an edge guard! Just barely tapped him away from grabbing the ledge. He had to buffer PK Thunder and the down air.
All right, Shinymark has gone for that contest a bunch of times, and he finally got the timing right, and it paid off big time. That spike was beautiful.
The angle was directly vertical underneath the ledge, whereas most of the other times, Sen was at some sort of angle where Shinymark would have had to have drifted and probably didn't want to throw out the down air immediately as you're drifting.
I
Because
believe
the
that,
option, you never know if you're going to get sent into stage or you're going to get sent.
I believe that's the mid-set adaptation that we wanted to see from Shinymark. He realized, all right, now this is a situation in which I can punish that, and he did it gorgeously. I have zero complaints about how he played that last stock, and I think Sen died at like 60, so he's probably, obviously he's not going to get upset. He's Sen. He just does not show any emotion whatsoever when he's playing the game. So just mental reset, but that Thunder, he complete turnaround on this first stock. What a reversal from Shinymark.
Such a fast first stock, less than 30 seconds in. Again, totally different game. Game 5 looks different than every other game that we've seen so far. Shinymark says, we're playing this at my tempo now.
It's crazy that he got that first stock so fast, because Sen had already built up 60%, while Shinymark hadn't gotten a single hit, and then Shinymark's like, all right, let me take a stock. See you later. Goodbye.
But Sen's got to get the stock back, and you can tell that he's feeling a little bit pressured. He still wants to throw out these defensive aerials, but use them to slowly press himself into Shinymark's space.
Ooh, that little hesitation from Sen, not knowing whether Shinymark would go back to the right or go left, kept him from getting a punish on the ledge, and now Shinymark was able to get back to the stage, but 95%.
You're about 5% off of that killing.
Just about 5%. And the drift from Shinymark to get back to the stage, just so nicely done. Oh, up smash not going to connect either. It's just nothing connecting for Sen to get this first stock, and it's every single hit hurts more and more as you fall further and further behind. And that dash attack not enough either, and Pulse not going to reach far enough. Shinymark going all the way under the stage as well, and finally the Nair with the persistent hitbox will kill Shinymark's first stock. And
76%. Yes, nothing to scoff at, but that only takes a few options from Sen. Honestly, 1, maybe 2 PK fires and follow-ups, and you're going to be even.
I do like that Sen is choosing to go low a little bit more and save his double jump so that he can get that confirmed air dodge back to the stage. It's just so much safer than being able to PK Thunder when you're right below there. And I think Shinymark understands that, and he says when he has the double jump, I'm not going to contest it. I don't need to go for it. I don't need to contest the PK Thunder because he's not going to PK Thunder. And I would like to see Shinymark try to read his ledge options a little bit more. He's trying to do that, but he hasn't gotten a hit just yet.
Look at how patient Shinymark is playing. Understanding that the lead is his and that Send has the pressure to respond, to get the damage out, Shinymark says, I'm just going to dash back, I'm going to hold shield, and whenever you throw out something too dangerous, I'm going to follow up with another cut and another cut, and then you're going to get to 160%, and suddenly you're dying to just about anything.
Forward air going to keep Shinymark off the stage. PK Fire doesn't connect either, and I think if that had hit, it would have made big for Sen, because I think he could have gone for a down air or some other type of aerial, and that air dodge is going to get punished. Up throw not quite enough for Shinymark, but he's in such a good position now that he's able to ledge trap and send going for a magnet into something else, and he knew that was a regrab, so he got the F tilt off, and now once again forced to get back to the ledge, but not a regrab, so we're looking okay for Send, and he's able to get back to center stage, but was that up air?
That was that 160% mark where almost anything will kill, and yeah, I believe that was just an up air clash that is in the favor of the person underneath.
God.
Oh my goodness.
Shinymark's shield is pretty low now. I think it should be recovered by this point, but holy cow, that could have been really scary. I think it wouldn't have killed, but it would have gotten very close, and I think Send would have been able to convert that into a stock. But this is last stock in winners for Send, and Shinymark still with one more fresh one to go. So the more damage he gets right now, and even if he gets a KO, completes the 2-stock, it's going to feel very good. And you can tell he's wearing his heart on his sleeve during this set. Shinymark is an emotional player in general, and he's excited about this. He's feeling good when he wins games. He's feeling the pressure when he loses them. But if he wins this, it's going to carry a lot of momentum into this winners bracket.
We have basically a full stock advantage, even though you're off stage as Shinymark. Oh wow, what a PK flash! Stop that at just the right time.
Holy cow!
Fantastic angle on the quick attack. We're in a last hit situation for Sen, pretty much, depending on what that hit is.
Oh, the parry and the dash attack. It's staled though. It's not quite enough, and doesn't go for the back air. The drag down. Oh, he's dead.
That was great.
Goes out with a whimper instead of a bang, but very just beautifully played by Shinymark, and he's going to take the set over Sen.
Fantastic. Just Pikachu's hardest matchup, and Shinymark, I mean, it didn't look easy by any means. It looked very, very difficult.
It was not easy.
But all over the place. Incredible adaptations from both players. Every game was basically like watching a new set from two separate players that we haven't seen before. And that just speaks volumes to the skill of both of the players. I think